Venezuela's Lake Maracaibo has been polluted with so much crude oil over the years that it can be seen from space. Now, a young environmentalist is trying to change that by asking volunteers to donate their hair to soak up the oil. Helene Estrach, age 28, is the founder of Venezuelan elementalist organization Proyecto Serena. She and her team are collecting the hair and plan to use it later this month. Women told the Post that thousands of people have already donated, and some have even brought their hair of their dogs to contribute to the cause. She also stated that her team will use the hair to weave nets called booms that can both stop oil slicks from spreading and soak up the oil itself. She told the Post that 2 pounds of hair can soak up between 11 and 17 pounds of oil. She also stated that the outlet also stated that she found out a way to wring out the oil and dispose of it so that they can reuse the blooms, and that her work follows in the footsteps of environmentalists who have been working on this method for decades. Back in 1989, Alabama-based hairdresser Philip McCroy created a prototype for an oil cleanup device made of human hair, a device that NASA tested and deemed effective. McCroy later teamed up with Matter of Trust, a California-based organization that has been creating human hair blooms for more than 20 years. So that's two things that I knew, technically, three things I didn't know anything about. First, I didn't know about the oil slick that was, pretty much uh, near the lake, right? And that it was so much of a problem that you can pretty much see that directly from space. And how it is that I've never heard about this. Whenever we talk about events that could really affect, um, various areas and the environments and maybe also groundwater as well. And you've heard about oil spills or chemical spills in the United States and around the world, but this one is something that I've never heard of before, nor have I never heard it mentioned by mainstream media at all. And then the effect of using hair as a type of net in order to keep the oil slick from moving. Never heard of that as a type of thing to really do. And it's actually quite amazing as well, because when we normally see them try to stop the oil from moving, let's say in the United States, they will normally use some type of buoys, right? They'll disperse some type of a chemical in the water to quote unquote break up the oil. But the problem with that is that you'll have fish and other aquatic life that are in those waters as well. And then we don't also see what happens to those chemicals once it breaks down the oil. Then what does that, turn the oil directly into? And we've noticed that in certain images that the oil itself, it may be dissolved, right? Or it may have turned into something else and then fell directly down to the bottom of the ocean. So therefore, it's not at top anymore. So the top water, I guess, is okay. It's the bottom water. That's the problem, right? And again, we have aquatic life that lives at the bottom of the ocean. We have some of them who depend on living at the bottom of the ocean, and they feed on whatever happens to land, right? Because that's their spot, that's where they are. And now they have this oil residue mixed in with these other chemicals that's now at the bottom. And we all know what oil can do to sea life and the sea creatures, how it will cover them and different things like that. But due to the effect of human beings wanting to be greedy and wanting to, really go for the money, we'll decide to dig and we'll keep digging. Now, the planet will normally have these types of things locked away because they are pollutants. They're not supposed to be there. And maybe by a rare event, you might have a fracture that will, bring the stuff up, to the top. So it might be either on land or it might be in the water, but nothing to the effect of what human beings have been doing for, the amount of time that they have been drilling and boring directly into the ground or underneath the sea in order to gain access to oil. So again, this just shows you how detrimental the effect of human beings are, and how it is that both human beings have to both be the villain and the hero of the exact same story. right? It's crazy. They're the cure and the causation, which is ridiculous. You would have thought that over time we would have learned to do better and to treat the planet better. But human beings will learn sooner or later about the major effects that have taken place.